get the mashed potato. And like I told the mother lover,
She didn't want to listen when I had said, "Oh, we live." My bad, we live.
Big Mama, you ain't tell her about them.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an all-new episode of the Perfectly Balanced Podcast. It's just a panel of brown people having good conversations over here. Without further ado, let's get started. So, we got a video before we start this whole thing off. We got a video we want to show y'all, okay? And truth tell it, a lot of y'all gonna be mad. That's just the guys' honest truth. A lot of y'all gonna be mad. It is what it is. But here we go. We're gonna show the video now. Gentlemen, welcome back to an all-new episode. Well, hold on now, Chef. Now you know better than that now. You know better than that now.
Come on with it. Let's go.
Let's get it.
And that is the victim mindset and victim mentality of modern women. So the example I use of this is something that's happened a couple of times in this podcast. I've had men and women both go viral on this podcast for the wrong reasons, okay? People come on the show and they'll wild out. And what happens is the men, I never hear from. They just kind of take the L and move on. But the women will come to me and start blaming me for their bad behavior on the podcast and for going viral for the wrong reasons. Do men take accountability for their actions where women always seem to point the finger? I'd like to hear from the men first.
I guess it's your first, but I think that there is, from a young age, as a man, you're somewhat held accountable from then. You know, so if you do something wrong, especially I'm Nigerian, so if you did something wrong, you'll hear from your dad when he comes home. Kind of thing. So you know, you're told very early on your consequences, your actions have consequences, and so you need to make sure that you don't do the wrong thing. A lot of the times, when it comes to women, and that might be why.
Yeah, I just self-awareness, innit? I feel like as a man, you're forced to have that. Do you know what I mean? From early days, when you're in the playground, you know what I'm saying? If you're fat, you're the goalkeeper. It just is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get picked last. If you're not the guy, no one complains. Like, everyone kind of knows. Like, there's an accountability. There's a hierarchy amongst men. Like, we just know from early, like, where we kind of fit in it. Like, we live in a world where we get shown and told where we are all the time and what we are in it. And I just feel like for women, there isn't really that. But I think their friends just lie to them too much.
Leading on from that as well, I think it's self-awareness. If you're a man and you're short, fat, and you're broke, the world will tell you as soon as you enter the dating marketplace or you enter the world on what your status is. Whereas a woman, if you're overweight, you'll probably have a body positivity group say that it's the right way to be. So I think there's a lot of ways to mummy coddle women where there is men aren't afforded that luxury.
Mm-hmm. Well, to emulate what the man them said, men are forced to have to live in reality from young. Girls growing up are just never told no. So they grow up with this idea that, you know, the world kind of revolves around them. Mm-hmm. So that's why I mentioned that, you know, value throughout life, women are given their value. So with that, you're afforded two different mentalities as you're growing up and going through life, and that allows women to operate from this facade of what the reality shows. So when anything goes against that kind of cognitive dissonance, there was that.
So, question for the women. Is it just me? Is this just something that I see where women don't take as much accountability as men do? Or have you seen that in real life? Like, do you agree? Do you disagree? You can start.
Okay, I kind of partially agree, but at the same time, there was something that the last guy said that just triggered something in me, like that's just not true. Like, I think women do take accountability and they are shaped from young as well. The levels of accountability are very different, and I definitely agree. The fantasy spin, I think, is very feminine, and the kind of like I'm gonna reshape reality. I think that is a feminine trait, but that doesn't mean that both sexes don't have an issue with accountability. I absolutely think that there is an issue with accountability in society for all sexes at this moment.
Where do you see that men don't take accountability?
I think men don't take accountability for the status and actual kind of weight that they have put on them, and they complain about it. Like it's women that have kind of put this weight on their shoulders, and how they should shape their reality is like because of women, and women don't have that same pressure. I think they've done that to themselves.
Can I have a specific example? I don't understand what you're talking.
Okay, so the role of being the breadwinner or the one that has to provide everything,
Mhm.
I think that is men that have put that on themselves. I don't think that has anything to do with women.
You don't.
All right,
that has anything
pause
to
it
do
right
with
there,
women,
right
women.
there.
Oh,
That's,
yeah,
that's the foot.
because
That's
they
where-
they about to get into a whole thing there.
all right.
So, okay, there's a lot to unpack.
It's a
There's
lot
a
to
whole lot to unpack there.
I like
Blue,
to say
okay.
At the very beginning, all the guys answered the question to the best of their ability and moved on. They said it in like 3 or 4 sentences, and then that was it. Got straight to the point and moved on. She dodged so many different things and gave like politically correct answers. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing absolutely wrong with that. That's just the way that she communicates. But the owner of the podcast was like, okay, don't talk around it. Basically, what she said, don't talk around it. Just give me a very specific answer. You know, why do you feel that men are not as accountable to women? And she's like, well, females, this is a very feminine trait that we're she didn't say we, she said what is this? She was talking about like being unrealistic and living in a fantasy world is very feminine. It's a feminine trait.
Mm-hmm.
I took point to that to a point. I was like, you didn't say women. She said female or feminine trait. It's a feminine trait. And I was like, well, that's a point right there of not taking accountability in what women do.
I do one better.
What?
So not only is that part, she said feminine,
mm-hmm.
and then reverted and said men put these things on themselves.
Right.
When that's exactly what you just did by saying feminine instead of a female trait.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's one of the things where you say, oh, because by saying it's a feminine trait, it's saying that men can't dream.
To say that it's a feminine trait, this is what she was trying to get at. To say that it is a feminine trait, most females or women have this trait. She didn't want to come out and say that she was right. She wanted to talk around it. That's why she said it that way. And on top of that, you can also go back and say, okay, some guys offer masculine and feminine traits as well. So same goes with the opposite sex. So she left the door open to kind of come back and say, well, men can be delusional. Men can do this. That's why she said it's a feminine trait. She didn't say specifically with women.
It's so large.
So what I took from her response from that whole thing, first of all, shouts out to the podcast, the podcast is called Just Pearly Things.
Yep.
Right. Shouts out to them and what they are doing, because I see them all the time.
And they've been banned. They've been banned on TikTok. They've been banned. They've been also like demonetized on YouTube.
Yeah, I see, but doesn't matter. They are killing the game.
So and the thing is that I'm gonna talk about their podcasts and then just get off of it. But
we're gonna get back to
she runs it, and she brings all of these different points of views, and a lot of people are like calling her like, oh, she's pick me, blah blah blah, and you know she's just speaking facts from her knowledge and then bringing she's talking about the same things that Fresh and Fit says, but in a nicer way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing about her is that people calling her a pick me, it's always other women,
Always
right?
other women.
And the crazy thing is, it's always men that are agreeing with her, right? Which leads again to her point of accountability. All she's doing is raising points to say, this is what I see. From my perspective, this is what I see. It's a very subjective or it's a very objective position to take, to be, I don't care what side of the fence I particularly stand on. This is what happens. This is what I see, right? This is my point of view, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. And I think that it's, first of all, it's very refreshing because it's honest and it allows for people with all different types of points of views can resonate and relate with, right? Which is what we try to do here. Have objective views and be open-minded to literally any and everything. Now, back to the point. So she raises the issue, right? Why is it that, and this is from her point of view, these are her facts. The facts are people go viral. She didn't say men or women, she said people go viral on here all the time. Right? All the time. For the wrong reasons. Because men act the fool on here, women act the fool on here. People wild out on this show. Right? People. However, I don't hear much of anything from the fellas for going viral, but I hear a whole lot from the females that come on this show. Why is that? And then not only did she say I hear a whole lot, but they come back and blame me for why they was acting a fool on my show. So that's like Vernon Jones coming back on here and being like, well, why y'all put that out? You the one that said it. It ain't on me.
Yeah, and it's up to the listener to interpret it any type of way that they want to.
Right.
So it's just wrong. It's just wrong that she had to come out and say it, and the women on the podcast or the women on the show immediately got defensive and rejected the whole idea. It was like, no, women take accountability. It's just the men don't take accountability. And then she tried to move the goalposts. So saying,
back to what she's saying.
Men don't take accountability in this and this and this. Okay, let's not talk about the men. Let's talk about women. You're a woman. Talk about
why don't you take accountability?
Why don't you take accountability? Well, we take accountability, period. You're not taking accountability right now.
Right. We just not in this moment, but we do take accountability. Well, then you can't say you take accountability if you choose when accountability needs to be taken. So and like to her point, she says the level of accountability is very different.
Okay.
Which is very true.
Very, very true.
I 1,000% agree with.
So I'm not in the business of downplaying my black sisters at all. I love them all. But
you better, Kayla look at you like you better.
But
tread lightly.
All I'm saying is that sister right there was very, very delusional and could not come to terms with anything that was being said. And they tried to say it so many different ways so that she can understand. She would not break. And I get it. If you're strong in your ways, you don't want to break on it at all. But then you get into the space where you're delusional and you're making an ass out of yourself.
And she's proven their point.
Right. My particular dislike with the comments that she was making was when she said that men put these things on themselves. That, first of all, we ain't putting up.
No.
You know, we didn't
talk to a man. We'd rather have nothing than everything.
Yep.
For sure. We would much rather have nothing than everything. We would much rather be single than have to deal with a woman talking our ear off every day. Granted,
and vice versa, a woman would rather be single than be cheated on, lied to, and everything under the sun
1,000%.
that men do. So
100%.
So the thing is where is the common ground? We have to understand each other first before we can get to common ground. She's not understanding at all. Most women on these podcast shows, and I see it day after day after day, and I'm starting to think, I'm like, are people not really paying attention, or are people this way, or are women this way? And the guys too. Look, the guys, there are some like very misogynistic views that are out there that I just don't get down with, and I think they're doing it for clout. You could tell when a guy is talking outside of his neck.
Believe what he's saying.
Yeah, he don't really believe in what he said. I do that all the time on this show.
Yeah, we both do it. Come on now,
I do this all the time. But you could tell when I'm like talking outside of my ass about a topic and being genuine. These women on these shows that start to act out, they totally believe in what they're saying, and they totally believe that they're not wrong at all in their world.
What I'm saying is they're sipping the purple Kool-Aid and they're believing what's in the purple Kool-Aid.
Fact.
Yes. And it's interesting to see. This is why I love looking at podcasts and shows and stuff like this that are actually like reality shows aren't real. It's not reality. We know that, right?
Yep.
But these podcasts and these little side shows, these little YouTube videos, all this other stuff, that's the real deal of what people actually think, right? And so
it's debatable about like how much clout they actually have, and that's why they're relevant. But I don't believe in that being the whole thing. The people that they bring on, especially women, and they're making other women look bad. And I think they do this on purpose to kind of hone the point on. But on certain shows like Fresh and Fit and this other one, what's it?
Just Pearly Things.
Just Pearly Things. She does bring in some women that just destroy the narrative, and she's like, "See, this is what I'm talking about." And I'm sitting there watching this podcast, and I'm sitting there looking at Nita. Nita's like, she's dumb. She's dumb. People don't think that. I was like, man, I know I'm not tripping, because most women that I know do not have these type of views that the women that are delusional think about. And I'm starting to think maybe it's just an age thing.
Recognize the commonality between these individuals, right? Recognize the commonality. So whereas the women that we talk to on a daily basis are like, that's complete BS and commonality between these females is that, number one, they're single. Number two, they're on a show. So views get inflated, for the views.
Right.
You get certain things you have to weed out, like, all right, this is just for, because you can't really believe this. Now, granted, if you check the comments, that's the real. That's the real deal. And you'll see the comments do not lie. You'll see the people who actually agree with this. And to be honest, there's far more people that agree with it than we believe.
Yep.
So it's not that it's not someone else's view. It's just that we don't believe it's that person's view that we're watching.
Right.
Right.
So which brings up a further point, that the stats that they bring up on these podcasts, the viewership and the comments that you start to see kind of make sense. What's up, Nunu?
What up, Nunu?
They just make sense because everything that the host is kind of talking about and speaking on just gets people totally off whack.
Right. So, okay, let's get back to the question.
Listen,
go ahead.
We got to get Chef's and Kayla's response on that.
That's all I was about to get back to the question.
Go ahead with the question.
I'm sorry, my brother.
So the question here again is, do you believe that men take more accountability than women do?
Yes.
Okay, why do you feel that way?
Because most women react off of emotion. And their first emotion is to definitely not take accountability. The first emotion is to go into what you did to me for why I reacted the way that I did. If you wouldn't have said X, Y, and Z, I would have pushed you in the face.
That's, you know what? Reaction. But that sounds like narcissism to me. Because when you think about it, what is narcissism? Narcissism is blaming the victim for what you put on them.
Yes. Part of the definition of that.
Yes, that's textbook.
Part of it. That's a long definition of that.
It's a lot more, but that's the abridged version.
Yeah, very poquito.
Yeah. But that sounds very narcissistic, which is why, to be honest, I think a lot of women are narcissistic that don't know it.
Well, the thing is you don't call it out. You don't call a spade with a woman. Typically,
you can't. Because they're not gonna take accountability.
No.
Y'all getting a little out of hand now. Hold on now. Hold on.
When we start speaking truth, so when we and that's what's going on. That's what's so viral about these pages and about these podcasts, because these guys are just speaking straight up facts and or not really facts, but speaking from their mind that they really, really don't want to say, or most people don't want to say. And people are like, whoa, how dare people clutching their pearls and everything. Like,
right.
How dare you?
But it goes both ways. You get one side that's like, I can't believe you said that. And then the other side, like, thank God somebody said it.
Yeah.
Somebody said it.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna be me, but somebody had to say it.
I was thinking it.
And then that's when you get all the shared views and with people posting it being like,
it is what it is. So and that's the age that we're kind of getting into. Like, men are getting to the point, and it's kind of, I see where most women are coming from. They're like, oh my God, these guys in their podcast, they're getting on and just talking a lot of stuff. It's misogynistic. It's blah 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 blah. And we're like, no, these guys they've been thinking and talking this stuff for a very, very, very long time. Even in our small circles, certain things have always been said. It's just never been said out loud.
But do y'all take accountability of how you make the woman feel?
What?
So okay.
Hold on.
Hey.
Because with women, hold on. Because you know how a woman's mind works. This is me going back into my immature emotional state. Okay. Right. Not I've came to reality and I know it works both ways. I got that.
Right.
But do y'all understand that most women, when they say, it's not my job to make you happy, a lot of women do carry their life depending on how their man is treating them, making them happy. So the second you don't,
but see, this is always been my question
for making us feel emotional.
But this is always been my question, because the same way you can feel about me, I can feel about you, right? You said just that one example. Women say it's not my job to make you happy. It ain't my job to make you happy neither.
Right. But we depend on us happy.
But
then they come back and be like, what's up?
But the primary goal for a man's job is to keep his woman happy. Happy life. So
Mm.
right.
That out there.
So we know how to keep a woman happy. It's just when we don't, then it becomes an issue.
There you go.
However, a lot of women do not know how to keep their man happy.
Boom.
That is true. Outside of the bedroom.
Outside, and again, and you know what was crazy? If I told you this, and you probably know, but most women cannot grasp this fact that sex is not the only thing. It's not primarily what keeps a man happy.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
A man would drop you faster if it's only sex.
Yes. If the only thing that you got is a bomb ass, oh man, put me down for that.
Yeah, there you go. Got him.
You know what I'm talking about. You got a bomb box. You got a bomb box, and that's the only thing you got for you.
The box is popping and that's it.
Nope.
Ain't enough.
She's for the streets.
Because and here's the thing, that men, now granted, I don't blame y'all for thinking that way, because a lot of men have inflated women's
egos,
heads to think that that's all we want.
Yeah,
right.
And you know what, I would take not responsibility, but I would take accountability in that part, in that department.
Yes,
because it is the man's ego that pumps up the woman's ego, to make them feel and make them think that this is what all they want. But it's not. But it's not really. The thing is, we cannot say what we really want to say, because then it's controlling.
Well,
it's
not that we can't; it's that we don't.
Because if you go into it with everyone saying what they want on the table, then there's no confusion. But if you go into it with everything being about sex, how do I know you want a 3-course meal 8 months from now? The only meal you wanted
I
was
ask
me.
you to cook something to eat.
The only meal you wanted was me for 8 months. Now you want me to cook? Oh.
So and
that wasn't on the job description.
It wasn't on the job. And you know what? And now in 2022, going into 2023, most relationships now, they're bringing everything out on the table and saying, "Yo, this is the expectation. This is what I want. This is what I will do. Take it or leave it." And
we learn from my parents' mistakes.
And people are like going through relationships like turntable style faster than ever, because you know they're finding out like what people want and what people don't, and that's why you have more situationships nowadays than they do
more STDs.
Yep,
that too. But I would see. So I would venture to say, like I said, I would like KG said, I will take accountability for inflating the ego of women to say that all we want is sex, but in reality, men, real men, especially black men, want somebody with substance, some type of substance, whether that be you. And the crazy thing is, you don't necessarily have to be the smartest broad in the world, but if you can hold a conversation, that goes a very long way.
I tell you this: here's a dime. If you can make your man laugh uncontrollably, like like to the stomach, to the point to where he's clutching his stomach and nearly crying.
Oh my God,
she's a keeper.
You know what's crazy? Check this out, right? Most, if not all, men and women think humor is a very positive thing in a relationship. Humor, right?
Mm-hmm.
But men and women think of humor very differently.
Yes.
Right? Humor to a man is being funny, being a funny person, right? Being able to make me laugh, right? That's being humorous, right? As to a woman is a humor to a woman is a man being able to make them laugh specifically. That's it. Rather than being funny, right? If you as a person are funny, that's humor, right? But to women, that's not a trait that they think is attractive.
It's attractive, but when you're with me, you no longer make other people laugh. You only make me laugh.
It's hard to turn off humor outside the house.
So, you know what? That's
Silencio. Both y'all shut up. Both y'all shut up.
Are we never
Shut up. Shut up.
Chef,
Listen here.
Chef answer the question.
Listen here, God darn it. Because
come on.
My baby sister is in rare form tonight, as they would say on Purple Rain. The kids in rare form. You only make me laugh. Don't be making these other broads out here hee ha ha. You entertain me. You ain't entertaining these other tricks on the street. What's wrong with you? You done lost your damn mind. Same thing goes for the fellas. Listen here. Now, I like it when you get all nicey and spiffy from head to toe, but just remember now, that's mine. It ain't everybody else's.
You see, Ping is fair. I make my wife laugh, but my wife don't get mad when I tickle KG.
So, now to answer y'all question.
Stop being gay, Orlando. Stop being gay. Not that there's anything.
Go ahead, Chef.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer for PhD. Disclaimer for PhD. Yeah, we should be held accountable. Men should be held accountable.
I think we are.
So we
to a certain extent,
we are more.
We are the ultimate manipulators of playing with females' feelings and emotions.
And we take accountability for that.
Yep.
We do, but some fellas out here just like, you know what? I've been getting tired of being done so wrong. I'm gonna return the favor. So if you're not gonna be held accountable for I'm a fool babe, but I can't be babe, and I only get the phone call when hey friend, hey big head. Well,
But you know what? Those guys that are like that,
you're only there for one reason. You're there for, and that's it. That's why you get a hey.
Those guys are, you know, their game is exactly the same, and women have caught on to it, and they still fall for it. That's the thing.
No.
Certain women,
if it ain't broke,
don't fix it. Men are not changing at all. They're like, I'm still getting the box when I want to. I'm gonna keep running this game. Let it ride. Let it ride on.
I ain't gonna cap.
Red.
I ain't gonna cap. Look, so my wife got mad at me, right? Because we talked about when we first met, right? Everything I was saying, not that it was recycled. It just was. It was not the most original. That's all. Right. It was original to her. Right. So she got mad. She was like, I thought all that shit you was saying.
Another one.
I thought all that stuff you were saying to me was just for me. It was for you. However, it had been used previously. That's all.
It's on you.
And it was.
Hold on. Okay, so and it goes both ways also. Doesn't it, Kayla?
What you talking about?
There we go with that accountability. Let's be accountable to the topic at hand. Do women say the same thing that they said in previous relationships? Like, okay, let's just say like a funny joke.
No,
I ain't never met a female that just
give me a scenario that you have used multiple times. It doesn't have to be explicit. Please don't be explicit. I don't want to hear that. You're still my baby sister.
I don't have one then. I really don't. A scenario. Okay, like trying to downplay my crazy. We can use that as a scenario.
Okay.
Okay, so
you downplay your crazy at the very beginning of a relationship every single time.
About a month.
Every woman does that for a fact. Facts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to hold it in for a month.
What's crazy is this. I asked Nita what was the craziest thing that she's ever done, and I know that it's not top tier at all. But it was pretty crazy to me. I was like, okay.
If she's telling you there's something worse.
There's something worse. Exactly.
Something worse.
But she's a great tactician, just like me. Like our minds are just alike. And I was like, man, if you're telling me this in full confidence and not even like missing a story beat, like I get it.
It's something worse.
I understand, but I know that there's something worse for a fact.
Just know I'm 10 times crazy. But what I told you, I ain't gonna lie, I did get a little crazy when, okay, yeah. All that, yeah, okay, right. So, but to be honest, the fact of the matter is, like, back to the video, right? What they said was absolutely accurate in that we have to earn our value, whereas women are given value from early on, right? Especially if they got their daddy in their life. Oh, but
those would be the best ones, honestly.
You say what?
I said those would be the best ones, actually, because they peep your game like right before you even put it on, because they were taught by their daddy.
Yep, and that's the. But so when men and women get together, right, and we don't feel so, like, for example, a lot of men, you'll ask, why haven't you proposed to this person you've been with for 10 years? Oh, I'm not ready yet. Well, what does that mean? I ain't making the type of money I want to make yet. I ain't got the type of house I want to have yet. I ain't got all these different things, right?
Yeah.
To then say, okay, I'm ready, right? We have to earn that. Versus a woman being like, I ain't got to have that. I'm ready. And it's like, okay, but what about all these other things? We'll get that later. But I'm ready now. Like, we have a value difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you've been told you a princess all your life, and you are is holier than thou.
Mm-hmm.
You rarely, like, men are told they a prince from their mama, but then after a while, men catch on and be like, okay, mama, like, you my mama, you supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't feel like women get that to where they're like, you my daddy, you supposed to say that. No, it's like, my daddy told I'm a princess, I'm a princess, period. I won't be treated like anything less. I can't say I was that smart to wait. I dove straight into marriage 10 years now. Hey, it works out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, most men, when you act that aren't married, right, and they're with somebody long term, that's 9 times out of 10. That's the response. I'm not ready. I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet. I'm not where I want to be. You said what?
Or they're cheating.
I mean, or you're Jim Jones. You know, it's a bunch of different. You know,
if you're engaged, for
it's
like
little
10,
outliers.
If you're engaged for 10 years, something's going on there. And you know what? What's crazy? It should be accountability on both sides. Why are you still with the man that you're being engaged to for 10 years?
And now you're blaming us for you playing.
I'm not blaming
us for cheating.
I'm not blaming. But the question should be asked. The question should be asked, right?
See. Now I'm not. See, I'm normally not the one to advocate for an ultimatum, but 10 years, it's time to. Hey, listen.
It's time to go.
Either you gonna do this or I'm out. Yeah. Period.
Now the question should be raised now, and I'm pretty sure in those relationships there's an understanding of or a goal that they must reach before marriage happens. In
you know what? If that expectation is set early,
if there's no expectation whatsoever, what is keeping the woman in the relationship staying?
Exactly.
Now she looks stupid. She looks stupid.
What's crazy is
it's always our fault.
No.
No.
The thing is if the dude is saying, I don't believe in marriage, but the woman wants to get married and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna stick with him. She's stupid.
She's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the accountability that I'm talking about. In most cases,
you might have said you're married because in certain states, including Florida, you're married 10 years too long to stay one day, I swear. They said, I blame the female for staying so long. I mean, sis, you got to leave and find your prince, I'm assuming, because he ain't the one. True. I agree. So here's the thing. When things become a requirement for a man, normally he step up. True. When it's a requirement to say, listen, or And here's
we know what you meant.
This is all about clarity and communication, right? If in the position where you're like, okay, we want to pursue marriage, our goal is marriage, right? If y'all both know that, say a year in, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, our goal is marriage. That's what we're trying to get to. And if we say, hey, we want to get to this point before we get married, if both of you can agree to that, then the expectation is set. You're both moving in the same direction. And once that goal is hit, if he ain't proposed, then something wrong.
Yeah.
But the expectation has been set. You both know where you're going, and there's no more. Well, when is he gonna propose? There's no more, because you know what we going towards.
And you know what?
And most can't pressure him.
But the thing
if he's trying to get the right ring and everything, like, oh, we're gonna propose, that can be annoying, and that can turn off.
Yeah.
True.
But you know what? Okay, so let's back it up just a little tad. Proposing and marriage are two totally different things. Now, once you propose, that is a promise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that good enough for a 10-year span?
No.
Even if you have the understanding that y'all are both working on things, is 10 years too long?
Based on your financial, you should have understanding with your finances together. Get a plan on what it's going to take for you to get the wedding that you want,
it's going to take 10 years.
No, it's not going to take you 10 years to have a wedding.
Okay,
so,
okay.
No,
so
they work 3 jobs.
Going based off of the average income for a man and a woman. A man average income makes $40,000 a year. A woman 75% less than that. No, not 75. I'm sorry, 30% less than that. So maybe 30,000, 30,000 a year.
30.
How much do weddings cost, Chef?
You're the expert.
Mm-hmm. All right, now
average on average.
On average, looking at 25, 30,000.
That's a year's paycheck. That's a car. Do you think
that's if that look you gotta say that's if you balling out, if you're going all out.
That's it.
Now if we talking about, let's say, hey, we don't want a super expensive venue. We're looking at you're looking at 15 grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least
that's
half
still.
That. Okay.
That's
the
a Corolla.
Average person is paying on a car note maybe 6-7 years. So it could potentially and then you bring a house into the fact.
Go to the courthouse.
Okay. And that's the thing that you're not understanding.
I'm getting it, but I'm not waiting 10 years. This is what he was saying earlier.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm fine. Just get married now. I ain't gonna have the big wedding. It's all right. I'm not waiting 10 years. No. We can get married now at the courthouse, and then we can have the big wedding.
So why?
So would you be satisfied with the smaller wedding?
I would personally, yes, but most women are not.
So here's what me and my wife did, right? We literally went to the courthouse, paid $50, got a marriage license, did a little marriage, cool, boom, 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 woo, woo, woo. And then our honeymoon was driving across country, and we balled in Vegas. It was the best time ever, right? So that could be a possibility too, to say, all right, well, we may not splurge on the wedding, but the honeymoon gonna be popping.
Right.
So here you got to understand. So Rob, you guys did the total opposite of non-traditional wedding. You went way non-traditional.
This is what most people are doing now.
Yep.
This is what most people are doing now because they understand that a wedding is a waste of money, and they would rather spend the money on the memory of their honeymoon. So that's not far off what he's saying, because that's what most people are doing now.
Yeah.
True.
Weddings are more for the
it's 60-40. You still have about 60% of folks still wanting to have the big fashion wedding, have the friends and family, the people that had the close friends, they want the whole event. They want the bridesmaid pictures, maid of honor. They want the whole shebang. And then you had that 40% of people like, look, like my sister said, hey, meet me at the courthouse at 4:00 on your lunch break.
I tell you this.
Or at the
If you come into me as a family member and you're telling me, when are you going to have a big wedding? When do you want to go to a big wedding? My response to that is, how much you putting down for this wedding?
That part.
My response is, can we do it in your backyard?
How much is everybody? If everybody is chipping in and wants to be there, y'all gonna have to pay to help me cover this cost.
Because look, you gotta understand this. You're paying for the dress.
Yep.
You're paying for the tux.
Yeah. You got to get.
We using Rob's backyard, so he only need 10% down.
This
you know
is
what I'm saying?
a whole.
My backyard ain't that big now.
If this is a whole thing that the family, if the family wants this, the family's got to come up off that cheese to make this thing happen. You know what? We can make it happen.
It's possible. You know what I'm saying? For the low, it's possible. But somebody got to understand.
$25,000.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand. Just as much as you putting it down and
going into debts to plan a one-day event.
You be very surprised. There's folks out here doing.
Fuck.
And I'm collecting.
That is the answer of financial irresponsibility. Yeah, I would rather have a nice barbecue. All of my friends at an Airbnb. And then splurge.
A barbecue sound good as all get out. But that would be amazing.
Now, would most modern women want that? Hell no.
No. That's country. That's ghetto. I need to be treated like a princess. This is the only time I'm going to get to walk down the aisle with my daddy, and I'm going to be the center of attention. I'm not doing it in somebody's country-ass backyard. We're not eating barbecue.
But what is wrong with that? If she was raised to be the princess, and he's handing his princess off to what's supposed to be Aladdin and ain't. But
we live in a time and age now.
And you know what? Daddy better come off of some cheese to see her daughter, her princess, get married to a prince. He better come off
check this out. Check this out, right? About a month ago, right at the beginning of fall, right?
Yeah.
One of my neighbors down the street, he got a big yard. Yeah. Right? I drove past one day. I seen this big white tent. They had music bumping, cars parked all on the yard or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So a couple days go by, I walked down there because I'm curious. What's going on? Oh, my daughter, she was getting married. So, okay, what's up? He was like, yeah, man, we wasn't doing all that big stuff. He was like, literally rented that. He said, I rented that tent for about $200. And then had it catered by Chick-fil-A. I was like, hey, it worked, didn't it?
Hey,
he was like, yeah, that's
you know what? And you try to cut costs as much as you can. The cost that's not getting cut is a cake, the dress.
The dress.
Y'all don't watch y'all goddamn mind.
Yeah, the cut.
You gonna ball out on the dress.
The next man that I marry, first of all, is gonna have the money to give me my princess wedding.
Okay, so you got your priorities straight, and you know what?
Yes.
Most women are looking for that, but
if I got a broke nigga, then I'm just gonna go to the courthouse.
There you go.
I love his broke ass.
You're a realist.
But I ain't shooting for them broke no more. I'm shooting for.
You may not shoot for it. You may not shoot for it, but I'm just saying if the ball rolls that way,
if there ain't a ball in their hand that got money attached to it no more.
Lord.
Wow. See, it's all about money, huh?
It is now.
It is.
I gave love a chance. I'm at that time and point in life where how much is your life insurance policy?
What's your credit score?
You want to cheat? Okay, get you a house in the back of the house.
Right.
That shows I got money. I don't really care. I'm at that point in life. Just as long as my name is on that life insurance policy, that's all I care.
Well, I'll be damned.
You cancel out the life insurance if you get caught. We'll talk offline about that.
I ain't worried about that. I ain't gonna kill him.
All I'm saying is you know where I keep it. If somebody starts to act up, and I know where
Hold
to
on.
bury mine. I know where to
Ayo
bury mine.
said, she said my dress was $5,000 total, alterations included, and I paid for it.
That's
But
actually
we
the
had
price.
beautiful wedding in Miami for the low for like
10K for 25 people. Hell no.
Look, y'all gotta understand, man.
If you're gonna have a small wedding, you should at least have the sexy, beautiful dress
The destination
you
wedding.
want
Yep.
to at least feel pretty for yourself.
I understand why these dresses so doggone expensive.
Yep.
You only wearing it one time.
That's facts.
And you only wear it one time.
Orlando said, when you pass 30, you really just care about money, being comfortable, and stability. That's right.
About it.
That is it.
Well,
my child is grown. I don't want no kids.
10 bands for a wedding?
10 bands. That's not bad. I spend 10 bands for wedding.
For 25 people. If I'm 10, everybody and their grandma better be at this thing. Everybody.
Hold on now, Rob. Hold on now. You can't have everybody.
Y'all got to. You have to pay the.
So check it out. How many? I'm gonna get my calculator out real quick. If you got 25 people and you charge $50 to everybody, you already
be charging. Ooh.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to a wedding where you didn't have to pay for dinner?
She said, I'm wearing it multiple times for that price. If y'all see me wearing the San Diego, just keep it pushing. Roger ain't gonna say nothing. But if you know what? If we charge at the wedding, I'm with it.
You're gonna have to.
You know, ain't gonna be with five people.
To even cover half for 25 people, you're gonna have to charge everybody $200. Yeah, and that's gonna take some people out.
Listen,
it's gonna take everybody out. It's gonna take everybody out.
BYOL. Bring your own food.
Bring your own everything. Chairs.
Bring your own food. Bring your own
that's
bill.
Only gonna cost
cupcakes.
So yeah, I would charge $200 if I'm having like a baller wedding. You're getting charged $200.
Listen, I'm getting the cake from.
I'm not coming to your wedding.
It's going to be $200, but it's going to be well worth it because it's not going to be in Florida. It's going to be somewhere exotic. So you're going to want to
destination wedding. Wait a minute, I got to
destination weddings cost more.
Hold up.
Destination
weddings. You pay for the flight and the wedding.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying, and a hotel.
No, you don't have to pay for a hotel.
I ain't got to pay for the hotel though?
No, not for a destination wedding. You just got to pay to get there.
That's the cheapest thing though. You cover the flight, I'll pay for the hotel.
No.
That's round trip, baby. That's there and back.
Hey,
there and back.
Looks like you're flying Spirit.
Sure am. And is. Listen, I'm about to get my pilot's license. Me and my daddy about to be flying over there.
Ain't nothing wrong with Spirit.
We about to be flying over there ourselves.
So you guys got to understand, man. The wedding industry is like the funeral home industry. Yeah. As a DJ, and let's say if I owned a venue, my goal is to try to get every single last dime out of you for your one special day for 4 hours.
You can be like, you need to fly. You need to fly.
You know what I'm saying? So, it is wedding planners is a cutthroat business. Very cutthroat. And venue owners, people that own venues that have outside contracts, hey, we have this venue and we're one of the top 5 in, the bridal industry. And this is the location that everybody wants to get in. We're booked all the way to 2026. You know what I'm saying? But if a day becomes available, just know you have to put 60% of your deposit down.
I'm gonna have a ball next time.
So I've DJ'd at some venues where, I've sat there and asked the coordinator, I'm like, hey, what's your deposit on a average wedding of 110 people? She was just like, oh, it's roughly about, you need $5,000 for a deposit.
Okay. Now, to cover all of that stuff, this is what you got to do in your relationship. Real shit. And mark me down for that. You in a relationship, both of y'all put in $100 every single month for 3 years. That's $7,000 right there.
That's your deposit.
That's your deposit. Boom.
That's the deposit.
That's just
though.
the
But
deposit.
you gotta understand. But you gotta understand.
That's the dress.
Honestly,
That's just the
tell you
dress.
truth. That's. I mean, so think about it. You go back to your what y'all were talking. What we were talking about earlier. It's 10 years too long to be engaged. It takes. Think about it. An average couple. If you got your financial shit together, to use my friend's that's a tally. If you have everything in order and all your finances in order, you get engaged on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. We'll say New Year's Eve, rolling into 2023.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you a year, a full 365 to be like, okay, hey, where do we want to have it? What are our colors? What type of food?
Yeah.
What's our list looking like?
Yeah.
Who do we want to have? Do we want a live band?
You got to plan.
You know, do we want a DJ? Do we want a photo?
At minimum.
That's just 1 year to plan it. I've seen people do it in 6 months, but at the final result, they be like, "Damn,
stop playing with me."
If you,
You know what I'm saying?
She planned it out on y'all's first date. There ain't nothing to worry about. You just show up with the touch.
Shit.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Another one.
Oh, my bad, babe.
Another one. Yeah, he on the road today, y'all.
I gotta ask this question. I'm gonna ask this question. Live.
Go ahead.
When
Ask
when
the
you
question.
started dating, did you plan out the wedding already? No. She said no. So you're delusional, Kayla.
When we started dating.
Oh, when we started dating.
But it didn't take her no year. It didn't take her no year.
She said it didn't take you no year, right?
Who said I'm planning a wedding?
Who said she's planning a
I
wedding?
have not been asked.
In her head. In her
Oh, no,
head.
in your head.
In your head.
In your head? No. She says no. So that's only you, Kayla. I don't
Sounds
know.
like get on camera and say, get on, hold on, what you say? Get on live and say it in front of everybody. Get on live and say it in front of everybody.
So what you're saying is he ain't the one. That's what you're saying is.
Oh, so
I saw the way they was blushing at each other.
You hear that? She said what? I said, so what you saying is that I'm not the one.
I never said that.
She never said that.
I'm just saying. I have not
But you did not say it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, good.
You know what I'm saying?
You could still be crazy. I don't know how to keep my eye on you.
She said you still could be crazy. I've got to keep my eye on you.
That year threshold, that don't mean
You is a Gemini.
you can still be crazy.
I passed the threshold.
Gemini.
She said I passed the threshold, but I can still be crazy.
You are very
Hey, look, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
She said, "Hey."
So, you know,
Then you
look,
think you can still be crazy, KG.
Yeah.
you got to be careful out here nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a price you can put on love. Okay, there is a price.
Yeah.
And according to my sister, for the right price, if you the one, we can go down to the courthouse for $77.26.
Let's go, Lil Wayne. Let's go. You win
Listen,
the it's
$50 plus tax. It was $51.27.
That's in
Okay.
you know,
Hey,
yeah.
did Lil Wayne
That was
get
about it.
He got married in the courthouse, right?
Yeah.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah, he got a courthouse wedding with his little snow bunny.
Yeah.
You know.
That's all you
Look.
need. Hey, listen, you can do the destination thing later. That could just be a regular vacation. You don't even need no dress for it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I would.
That's we were supposed to, me and my wife supposed to do that at 5 years, but you know our financial situation, we had to save up for another 5 years in order to get there. It cost about $10,000.
But you married
That's
her.
all
You didn't wait the 10 years to marry her.
Yeah, no. See, like I did it first, and then the wedding can come at any time. That's
you just renewing your vows. That's all. You know, hey, friends and family, we're finally getting together, and you've been invited to this cordial event that happens to look like a wedding, but it's not really a wedding.
It ain't a wedding. It's just it's just a gathering of people. That's all that is.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I would elope. I think my next one, I would elope. I agree.
Yeah.
Just go on and knock it out, get it out the way.
By the way, Orlando, we're going to Hawaii.
So what now? Y'all going to Hawaii for y'all?
The most expensive place to get married is Hawaii.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot be in attendance based on. I think I'm gonna be busy that day.
That's too much water to be flying over.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna be busy that day. I don't think I can make it.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
It's not gonna be expensive for me. I'm flying Mac flights, boy.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, listen. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to end, man. I'd like to say thank you to all of our listeners out there. Everybody tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Make sure you continue to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Might take us a month. We'll get there.
Facts.
Yeah, those Mac flights, it might take you a whole month just to get to your destination.
Hey,
you better have leave days.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but you get there.
We'll get there. No, make sure you continue to support us on Facebook by sending stars, showing your love. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Perfectly Balanced Podcast. It's just a panel of brown people having good conversations over here. I'm your host, Big Rob. Who else we got? No.
Go ahead, Caleb.
I'm your favorite anti-Karen.
It is me, KG, aka Dr. Graves, no PhD. You know who we are. We came to drop bars.
Factual information.
Well. How y'all doing out there? It's your boy DJ Chef of the Chocolate Delegation community. Listen here, it's the weekend. We're getting close to the holidays. If you got that secret person you've been wanting to buy that secret gift for, go on get it. You know what I'm saying? Go on get it for them. Just go ahead and ball out one time for the holidays. Because if she make it to Christmas, she might make it to the Super Bowl in February. It's your boy DJ Chef.
You got 10 days.
Yeah, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy DJ Chef. Give you the love facts 101. If she make it to Christmas, she's making it to the Super Bowl.
Thank you. I'll see you soon, Orlando. We're gonna go out to the game. I'll see you soon, brother. Oh, it's gonna be our second Christmas together. Me and Nita, second Christmas together.
Oh, and she ain't got her wedding pictured in her head. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Say it again.
Say it
again. Her wedding pictured in her head. Yeah.
Aww. All right.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know we do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will see y'all next time, same place.
Peace.